way. But now I smell the rain, and with it pain, and it's heading my way. Sometimes I grow so tired, but I know I've got one thing I got to do. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of the Rambling Men Sports Podcast. A little bit different this week. I am not in my usual setup. I am in Morgantown right now visiting a friend, getting ready for the Westworld premiere. Filming this on a Sunday. We don't usually do it, but we had some scheduling conflicts earlier in the week. I know, James, I think you fell asleep on your couch one night, and then I think you forgot about it the next night, so we're doing it on a Sunday. We're going to try to get this uploaded same day, and then we're going to have a short uploaded tomorrow to make up for it. But what's going on, James?
Not a thing, man. Just got back into town. Just showered up, ready for the show. Talk about some things.
In Baltimore, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll mention it at some point, but another reminder that we will be in the same room to podcast later in the week. I will be visiting my friend James there in Baltimore for the NFL draft, doing a live show for the first round of the draft. Going to be fun. But you ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so first topic. Kind of old news at this point, but the Dallas Cowboys have cut wide receiver Dez Bryant. James, does that surprise you at all?
No. What surprised me is that they didn't offer him even a lesser contract, which means they didn't want him there. They just kind of wanted him gone at that point. Just felt like, he was just too needy. It's not even so much money, obviously, paying him $16 million a year. He's probably worth half that at this point, but he's just a needy player too. And if you're not throwing him the ball and you're not feeding him the ball, it's kind of just drags the team down. And this, it finally got to a point where, his talent went below his headache, and he just, they were just done with him. They cut him.
Yeah, I don't know about you. The only thing that surprises me about this was just the timing. I mean, it was a few weeks ago.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, we were talking about whether or not he would be on the team. They were talking about taking a pay cut. If he wasn't going to take it, they were going to cut him. And then kind of 2 weeks went by, and no one really heard anything. And usually in the NFL, after 2 weeks, if something hadn't happened, you're just going to move on with it. Maybe they were – I thought, okay, I guess they're content with paying him that much money for that production. And then now it's been a month after that, and they cut him. That's the only thing that really surprised me. I thought they would get rid of him. But, yeah, this close to the draft is a little surprising.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up because the market kind of dried up for him now. But poll question here, where do you think he'll end up? Ravens, Packers, Giants, or Eagles?
I'll tell you right now, it ain't going to be the Packers. I took these from, I think, Vegas. I think Vegas released the top teams that he's likely to sign with. These might have been the top 4. It ain't going to be Green Bay, I'll tell you that. They're not getting rid of an out-of-prime Jordy Nelson for an out-of-prime Dez Bryant.
It ain't going to be Philly either.
Yeah, Philly, that doesn't make any sense either. They're not going to spend money on him. I think it's going to – I ruled out the Giants, but now that they cut Brandon Marshall, maybe they give him a shot. But I think
a report just came out that they're not interested.
They're not interested in Dez? Then that was my guess from the beginning. I'm going to say Baltimore. They have zero help at wide receiver.
He seems like a Raven.
Yeah, he seems like a Raven, yeah. I agree.
Absolutely.
Other NFL offseason news, the Broncos cut running back C.J. Anderson. Not really that surprising. He's okay. I mean, he's not anything special. Then the Giants cut wide receiver Brandon Marshall, like we said. Seahawks signed quarterback Austin Davis to be the backup. Not a ton going on. Free agency has well passed. Still a big name out there, Eric Reed, though.
Eric Reed and C.J. Anderson. I mean,
C.J. Anderson's a big name.
Anderson should go to the Seahawks or something.
Yeah, I think he'll stay on the West Coast at some point. I don't think he'll sign, though, until after the draft.
Yeah, agreed.
This is something I really want to get your take on, James, because I couldn't believe it when this story broke. Tom Brady, it was reported, Adam Schefter reporting that Tom Brady hasn't formally announced that he's playing in 2018, but friends and family say that they think he will. James, I don't know about you. I saw that and I was like, he has to make a formal announcement. I thought we were just going to assume he was coming back. He's been saying how he's going to play till he's 45.
I mean, I think he's coming back, but if I was him, I don't think I would. I think I'd retire.
Why?
They just got rid of his left tackle, his right tackle, his slot receiver, his who else left? A few other players left. Gronk might not come back this year. Like,
no, I think he said he was.
He's going to be 41 years old, man. Like, Bill is just accumulated a lot of picks to draft his replacement. The Patriots are going to draft a quarterback in the first or second round this year, and that's going to be Tom Brady's replacement. And he used Tom Brady's team that was playoff Super Bowl caliber team and got rid of a lot of good players on it to get those picks to draft his replacement. I think Bill is still pissed that Kraft made him deal Garoppolo. I think he wanted to keep him for as long as he could, and I think Tom Brady feels a little bit disrespected that, he's gave that franchise so much and, so much consistency for all those years, and now Bill is kind of undermining him. And I just think it was just a long time coming. That just worked way too well for way too long. And, I feel like it's to a point where Bill and Tom both feel like they need, a lot of credit. They were both kind of like team first guys at first, but now it's like after all this time and all this winning, they just want their credit. They just want to be appreciated, both of them. And I feel like Tom doesn't feel appreciated by Bill, and I feel like Bill doesn't feel appreciated by Kraft. So I just think it's kind of like a triangle, and everyone's just a little bit bitter right now. And Tom Brady's going to play football because he loves to play football, but I don't think he's happy about what's happened this offseason at all. I think he's because if I'm him, like I said, I'd probably retire. You got 8 Super Bowl appearances. You got 5 rings. Who's even going to block for you this year, dude?
Yeah, that offensive line does not look good, and I don't think
tired of it. Like,
I don't think we're talking about it enough. That offensive line does not look like it's going to be very good next year.
And what is he going to do? He's a statue back there. It's not like he can run. I don't know, man.
I'm a little bit surprised. I think they're just making this to. I think Schefter just reported this just to try to get some attention his way. I mean, we all expect him to play this year. He's said for years how he's going to play till he's 45, however long that is, or however long it'll be. And then he just did it to, I think, to put the spotlight on himself, and we're like, oh shoot, is he considering retirement? No, he's not. I think he's sitting at home and he's saying, wait, I have to make a formal announcement now. So I just think it's stupid. You make some good points, though, about just retiring. I don't think he will, which is our poll question. Do you think he will play in 2018?
He'll play.
Yeah, I think, as in regards to what you said about playing in the future, I think he'll just play until Belichick gives it up, which I think could be after this year with the way he's traded players, and now they have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. I think it's going to be after this season, setting them up kind of for the future, and then McDaniels is going to take over, and I think Brady plays at least 1 year with McDaniels.
I'll call this right now. If they draft a quarterback first round this year, Tom Brady won't be starting in 2020. Regardless if
is that when his contract's up?
Bill will start the second or third year player over the 44-year-old. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, if that happens,
that's the problem.
I don't think that will happen again with like the Garoppolo thing. I don't think that'll happen again. No. I think the second time around, Belichick will get his way.
Yep.
Another NFL news: the schedule, full 256 game schedule, was released Thursday night. Your Eagles will be taking on the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday night to kick off the season. How do you feel about that?
It's a dub.
Yeah, that's a dub.
It's a dub.
And then my Packers have a primetime game on Week 1 against the Chicago Bears in honor of Green Bay's 100th season as a franchise. I heard a rumor it was going to be against San Francisco, and I was all for it. I was like, yeah, 2 historic franchises going off Week 1 to celebrate this 100th year, and then it ended up being the Bears. I was like, that makes sense. It's got to be the Bears. That's the best rivalry in the NFL. So, other notable Week 1 matchups include the 49ers at the Vikings, Texans at the Patriots, Cowboys at the Panthers, and Jaguars at – oh, no, I got more here. Jaguars at the Giants, Chiefs at the Chargers, and Rams at the Raiders on Monday Night Football. That Rams-Raiders game might be really good.
Oh, they all sound good. I can't wait.
And then the international games, Seahawks, Raiders, Titans, Chargers, Eagles, Jaguars to play in London. I'm hoping Green Bay goes to London eventually. I just want to see them play over there.
You don't want to, man.
Have the Eagles played in London before this year? No?
They're going to lose that game.
Yeah, Jaguars go there. That's a tough matchup. Jaguars are there every year.
They got it down pat, dude.
Yeah. And then Chiefs, Rams will play in Mexico City. So I guess – poll question time. Which week 1 matchup in the NFL are you looking forward to watching the most? Falcons, Eagles, 49ers, Vikings, Cowboys, Panthers, or Rams, Raiders? I shouldn't have put Falcons, Eagles just because of you.
From a personal perspective, obviously the Eagles game, but from a matchup perspective, probably what was the one you said before, Rams, Raiders?
Cowboys, Panthers, and 49ers, Vikings.
I'd like to see Cowboys, Panthers.
Huh.
I want to see how
Falcons, Eagles will be entertaining. Rams and Raiders will be entertaining. I really want to see, honestly, how Jimmy Garoppolo does in Minnesota against that defense.
Yeah, but I'll be at the Eagles opener. Don't worry.
Really?
No doubt. No doubt.
Good for you. I'll say 49ers, Vikings, just to be kind of different. I look forward to see what Kyle Shanahan and Garoppolo do against that defense. Staying in the NFL draft, big report this week. Baker Mayfield to the Jets, reportedly a done deal. James, thoughts?
That's their guy. See, I think people, you can't call anyone an idiot for drafting anyone because it really is a crapshoot. There's a good, not a good chance, but there's a chance that literally all 5 of the top quarterbacks aren't that good in the NFL. There's a chance 3 or 4 of them end up being really good. Like, you just don't know. I do know Baker Mayfield is very accurate, and he has a lot of touch on his throw, and that's near the top of the list of things that, skill-wise, I don't think he's going to have a problem. I think he's going to have a problem losing because he's going to lose for a long time, and I think he's a lot like Cam Newton in that sense. Cam Newton never lost until he got to the NFL, and he didn't know how to handle it when he got there. He started acting like a baby. I mean, Cam Newton never lost a football game until he got to the NFL. He went undefeated from Pee Wee all the way up through Auburn. Never lost one game. So, Baker's lost some games, but I feel like, when the going gets tough and everyone's in his face, like, we'll see how he handles it. He might he might thrive in that kind of environment. I know he's really competitive. That might be perfect for him.
He's got the personality.
I'd take a shot on him. I really would. I don't think
he's got the personality
I think he has a chance to be really good just because of how accurate he is.
Like I said, he's got the personality for New York. That's really all I'll say. The rest of this, I don't think is a very good fit. Just the Jets
I wouldn't pick him.
The Jets aren't very good. What the heck did you do?
Yo, hold on.
I'll continue here. The Jets aren't very good. They got no skill position players. They got no run game. Their offensive line's terrible. I just don't think that's a good spot for Baker Mayfield. To me, I think Mayfield's going to have a lot of help in order to win. And I just don't think that's going to be with the Jets. I think he'd be really good, I think, with a team like Arizona that's got good receivers, a good running back. Offensive line's not great, but it's better than the Jets probably. Maybe even a Miami. I really don't like Mayfield with the Jets. And this move is so Jets. They got Josh Allen and Josh Rosen sitting there, likely at number 3. And they're going to pass on him for Baker Mayfield probably because he won games in college, he put up a lot of numbers, and that's probably why they're going to take him. And he may end up being good. I don't know. Like I said, I like some of his traits, but for the most part, I think he has a high bust potential. That's really all I have on this topic since James isn't back with whatever happened to him. I'm going to continue on. Some other NFL draft rumors. The Patriots are reportedly very interested in Josh Rosen. There he is.
My face just started bleeding. I'm sorry.
What the fuck did you do?
There was just like a blood vessel on the side of my face, and I don't know. I just felt blood, so I guess I just popped it when I scratched it.
Did you hear at all what I had to say about the Baker Mayfield and the Jets?
No. I'll take your word for it, though.
Poll question: do you think Baker Mayfield is a good fit for the Jets?
Personality-wise, so-so. I think he's an okay fit with them. We'll see.
Personality-wise, I think he got me there. He has that experience from college that I'm going to win games. Jets haven't won games in a very long time. Maybe that helps. But like I said in my point, the Jets are – I didn't say it in my point, but the Jets are – I've said it for years – are where quarterback careers go to die. They haven't had a good quarterback since Joe Namath, although Chad Pennington had a few good years. But I just don't think it's a good fit for him. They have no receivers. They have no running game. They have no offensive line. They got a defensive-minded head coach. And I do like Todd Bowles, though. But I just don't think it's a good fit for him. But like I was saying before you came back, other NFL draft news for the Patriots reportedly very interested in Josh Rosen. They got the picks to get him, James. You think they're going to trade up?
Yep.
You think they're going to trade up? Not necessarily to get him, but you think they're going to trade up in general?
I think they're going to trade up to the 4 spot.
Not Buffalo?
I think Buffalo might trade into the 2 spot.
Saquon Barkley to the Giants is reportedly imminent.
I hope they draft him. I do.
Broncos' number 5 pick is now for sale. What do you think about that?
It might not be that valuable.
Yeah, I'm just not sure.
We'll see.
People are going to be that interested in it.
It depends, because I'm telling you right now, if somebody trades into the Giants and the Browns spot, there might be 4 quarterbacks off the board in the first 4 picks, and then, you know what I mean? It's not that valuable quarterback-wise. Yeah, someone might trade up like a couple spots to get Saquon, I guess.
Everything I've read is that I think NFL teams are really liking Darnold and Mayfield, and I think those are the 2 quarterbacks to go off the board first, and maybe Allen is the guy that teams are going to trade up for, but everything I've read is saying Rosen is going to fall in this draft. I don't know why.
I just don't see that, dude. I really don't.
What do you think is going to happen?
Don't. What'd you say?
What do you think is going to happen
with
Rosen?
Hold on. Sorry, I had to mute my conversation so I didn't get a bunch of things. But what do I think is going to happen with Rosen?
Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to trade up to 4 and get him.
That's right. You did say that. Like I was saying, I don't know if Rosen, let's pretend Rosen's sitting there at number 5 and Denver wants to trade out of it. If he's still there, I think teams are going to be content with just saying, no, we're good. We're going to wait, because if he falls past Denver and they don't want him, the Colts aren't going to take him. The Bucs aren't going to take him. The Bears won't take him. 49ers won't take him, Raiders, and then I don't think until the Dolphins pick at number 11 will you see a team interested in him.
Yeah, I agree.
And then now we're going to get into some recapping. If you've noticed, the NBA postseason and NHL postseason is going on. We're going to start in the NBA alphabetical order. James, your Sixers are off to a 3-1 start. Ben Simmons looking good.
Yep.
Didn't he put
double last night?
Yep.
Embiid is a beast. When he gets his mask off, he'll play a little better.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw it on my Twitter feed. Everybody was talking about Ben Simmons.
It's a beast, dude.
But the real storyline is probably the Cleveland Cavaliers down 2-1 to Indiana. A lot of people are saying this is over. They said, although a lot of people said it was over when they split at home with them.
Honestly, it might be, dude, because they're probably going to go down 3-1 because it's hard to beat the Pacers in their building. So we'll see. I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie.
Do you think? Poll question: do you think they're done
for the season or for that series?
Both.
Yes, they are done.
For both. Yeah. I say yes too. I think that they are in some serious trouble, and I just don't think Cleveland has the defense to win on the road. You got to win on the road in the postseason.
Yep, the 29th ranked defense in the league.
Another surprise: New Orleans Pelicans sweep the Portland Trailblazers. I did not see that coming.
Nobody did.
Yeah, we said it on our NBA postseason short. I think we mentioned that the Portland doesn't have anyone that's going to be able to guard Anthony Davis, but it was actually the Pelicans guards who showed up.
No, I know.
Drew Holiday and Rajon Rondo.
I can't believe Drew Holiday scored 40 freaking points last night. That's insane.
Yeah, I did not think they had the matchups at the guards to knock off Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, and Portland is well coached. I did not. This was a huge surprise to me.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
Could this team knock off Golden State?
The Pelicans?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And then another surprise, I think, to me, both me and you, James, my Celtics, although they're getting beat right now, got off to a 2-0 start. They have dropped one in Milwaukee, probably going to be one more right now. But we both picked the Bucks to win that series.
They're going to lose that series.
You still think they're going to lose that series?
Yep.
I don't know, man. Home court? I don't know, maybe. And then Raptors, Warriors, Rockets all cruising so far in the first round. Although the Rockets did drop a game last night to Minnesota. I thought that would happen. Minnesota is a really good 8 seed.
They are. Yeah. I knew that they weren't going to absolutely sweep them.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I thought the Rockets would struggle to guard Towns.
Towns was playing horrible.
He was? I didn't even really watch the game.
He had 12 points in the first 2 games.
Then who scored all the points?
Exactly.
And then the Stanley Cup playoffs going on right now. The Vegas Golden Knights and the San Jose Sharks sweep LA and Anaheim to advance to the second round. After getting off to a surprising 2-0 series lead, Columbus has now lost 3 in a row to Washington. I know my friend William Snoddy is very happy about that as a Caps fan. Your Flyers, man. Your Flyers pulled one out the other night. Down 3-2 heading back to Philly.
Who knows, man?
Who knows? That's right.
I've seen a 0-3 comeback in hockey.
It happens way more often in hockey than in the other sports.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Penguins, I already said them. Lightning and the Jets cruise in the first round. They won in 5. Predators will learn tonight. They play the Avalanche again, and I think it's Game 6. I think it's in Colorado. That could go Game 7. Interesting series. The other interesting series has been my Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Bruins led 3-1. They had it at home last night to clinch the series, and they dropped it. So now we got to go back to Toronto for Game 6. I'm still feeling pretty good. They ought to squeak it out, but
might go to 7. But
it'll probably go 7. But Bruins have the home ice. Unless you want to talk about it, we've wrapped this up pretty quickly. Less than a half an hour.
You wanted? What'd you say?
I said, do you want to talk about this baseball thing?
No, let's just instead of doing a short, you want to just do our mock draft?
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely. We'll circle. Yeah, let's circle back and do the mock drafts. This will cancel the short, the NFL short that I said we would post tomorrow. But since we wrapped this up so quickly, yeah, might as well just go ahead and do it.
Slow week, man. Next week we'll have we'll have the draft, the live show, but then the week after that we'll be able to talk about the draft a lot.
I don't know about you. Right now, I want to do like a recap show where we talk about not all 32 teams, but a lot of the teams.
Absolutely, the main ones.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to talk about the Cardinals and shit, but
no.
maybe if they make a splash in the QB market, we'll see.
For real. Definitely if they trade up and get one of the quarterbacks. But yeah, you go ahead and go first. Cleveland Browns on the clock.
So I do want to make this known that this is like kind of a mix of what I would do versus what I think is going to happen. But I think the Browns are torn between 2 players. It's Josh Allen and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think so too.
They might go Josh Allen just because they know he has a higher ceiling, I think. But Sam Darnold can run around a little bit. I think he can give you a little bit more juice in the short term. Maybe in the long term too. Who knows? I haven't taken Sam Darnold number 1 overall. How about you?
I got the same. I think they like Josh Allen. I think they like his tools, the way he plays, but he does have a high bust potential. And Cleveland's just in that spot right now. They really can't afford to screw this up.
Agreed.
They passed on. We've mentioned it before. Carson Wentz, and they passed on Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson the last 2 years. Take the guy the top guy. Just take the top guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because then people at least can't be mad at you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And it's a new front office, so if they whiff on them, they're likely going to get another chance. It's not like they've been there, 5 years.
Exactly.
Number 2, New York Giants. James, for weeks, we have said the Giants are going to take a quarterback. I'm no longer on that train. I think they're going with best player available, which is Saquon Barkley.
That's fine.
That is unless they trade out.
If somebody in that front office is smarter than me, which I would hope so, they will take Josh Rosen at number 2.
Oh, I know. I would take a quarterback. I just don't think they will.
No, honestly, I don't think they will at this point either. But I have a little bit of hope that they're not the Redskins, they're not the Browns. They're going to make the right decision. I want to hope that, but I haven't taken Josh Rosen.
You're going with them taking Rosen?
Yep.
Okay.
Also, let me make this note. We had to do this without any trades. So It's like, I think that Josh Rosen will be the number 2 pick with another team. I think the Giants are going to end up trading out of that spot.
Okay. Number 3, the Jets. Who do you got?
Baker.
Yeah, I'm all aboard. Not the Baker train, but I'm aboard the hype train that he's going to the Jets. I have the same. I got Baker Mayfield going to the Jets.
Cool.
Number 4, Cleveland. They already got their quarterback. Will you be shocked if they take another one at this spot?
Yeah, I'd be really shocked.
You would? They say it's not out of the question.
I wouldn't blame them for taking another quarterback in maybe the 4th round, like a Luke Falk or something like that, like a player who could maybe be a starter, but is the 6th or 7th best quarterback. Yep. Sort of similar to what the Redskins did back in the 2012 draft, but you don't want to create a quarterback controversy with 2 kids that you're paying a pretty decent amount of money. I mean, they are going to be on rookie deals, but high first-round quarterback rookie deals are still, kind of expensive. So I haven't taken Saquon.
Really? That's right. You don't have Saquon going number 2.
I think they really want to take him at 1, but they just know they can't.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's still there at 4, run up to the podium, I haven't taken Saquon at 4.
I mentioned it to you earlier this week. I'm really liking Bradley Chubb going to the Browns. And that's what I have. I have him taking Bradley Chubb. Beef up that defensive line. Myles Garrett, Bradley Chubb coming off the edge, and then Emmanuel Ogbah rotating in. That's going to be a really good edge rushing combo.
Agreed.
Number 5, I don't really know. I want to say Denver takes a quarterback. I'm not sure they will. I have them taking Quentin Nelson, the guard from Notre Dame.
I haven't taken Bradley Chubb to pair with.
That's not stupid. I could see it.
I think 5 and 6 are interchangeable. It's going to be Quentin Nelson and Bradley Chubb, but I don't know. It's going to be up depending on who gets picked first. But I think both of those teams will take either of those players.
I think Denver has got to fix the offensive line. That's been a problem with them the last few years. Quentin Nelson is probably the closest thing to a lock that's going to be an all-pro caliber player in this draft. So I think they got to fix the offensive line, beef up the run game. Even though they got rid of C.J. Anderson, I fully expect them to take a running back there in the first 3 rounds of this draft. But let's move on. Number 6, Indianapolis. Who you got?
I had Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson. I said Tremaine Edmonds. I think they go inside linebacker, beef up that defense a little bit.
I think that'd be a cool pick.
That would be. Like I said, for some of these, I thought outside the box. Tampa Bay. I think if this dude is there, Tampa Bay has to pick him up. Denzel Ward.
Have the same thing.
You do? Yeah. I think if Ward is there, Tampa, he's going to go to Tampa.
Yep,
they got to fix that pass defense. This is an interesting one because I don't really know who they could pick. They need some help offensively. That's Chicago Bears. There's not really help on offense, though, at this point. But who do you have the Bears taking?
I have them taking Tremaine Edmonds. I think they need a nice force in the middle of that defense. I think he's he has one of the highest ceilings in the whole draft, to be honest with you. He has to be top 5 as far as what he could end up being in the NFL. Kid's still a teenager. I haven't taken Tremaine Edmonds. I think that's a great pick. I think he can start right away, and he has a long time to play because he's so young. So
yeah, like I said, they should go offense, but there's not really an offensive player on the board right now unless Nelson falls to them. So just take best player available. I have the same thing, not Tremaine Edmonds though, but linebacker. I have them taking Roquan Smith out of Georgia.
I can see that. Okay.
And then number 9, San Francisco. I don't know about you. Again, same thing. They really need to add some help offensively. But I think this team was very bad last year, like one of the league's worst in sacks. I have them taking an edge rusher, Marcus Davenport. Early. It's a little early, but outside the box.
I agree. I do think that the Bears and the Niners both would have took an offensive player if there was one worth taking in this spot, but I haven't taken Minka Fitzpatrick, just a plug-and-play player to help on the back end.
They could use someone in the secondary, and a guy like him that can play safety and corner.
And their defensive line, obviously you always need to draft defensive linemen, but their defensive line should take another step forward this year. They're all pretty young and pretty good, so they should have a pretty good defensive line anyways. I have them taking Fitzpatrick.
What about Oakland at 10?
They need some defensive players, man. And honestly, I think they would love for a Fitzpatrick or a Ward to be there because they don't intercept the ball at all. But since they're not, I haven't taken Roquan Smith, which I think is a really good pick.
Yeah, if Ward isn't there, they really need help at corner. Need some help at corner. But if he's not there, I think they're going to go linebacker. But I have them taking Minka Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Like I said with San Francisco, Oakland could use some help in the secondary, and Fitzpatrick can play every position. Number 11, Miami. I think you already have 3 quarterbacks off the board, right, James? I only have 2, so I think this is where a quarterback falls. I have them taking Josh Rosen.
I have them taking Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But I do think if one of those quarterbacks falls to them, they'll take them.
I think so too. I'm really buying into that hype, and everything I've heard is Rosen's going to fall. I don't know how far it is, but if he's sitting there, I had a hard time with not picking him to go to Denver, but if he's there at 11, I think Miami absolutely scoops him up.
I can see that.
And then Buffalo at number 12. This is my 4th quarterback, Josh Allen. On purpose, I put Josh Allen here just because he's a perfect fit for Buffalo.
I agree.
Yeah. And everything I've heard is that Allen is more likable by NFL teams than Rosen. So Allen's probably going to be the 3rd guy off the board. But on purpose, I put him as the 4th guy just because he's perfect for Buffalo.
I haven't taken Lamar Jackson.
Really? You have Lamar Jackson jumping that far up?
And the reason I think that is because, like I said, I don't think there's any way 4 quarterbacks get past or 4 quarterbacks are going to be taken by the 11th pick. So I think that Buffalo just knows, like, we're going to have to go get him now or we're not going to get him, because if he's not going to get past 15 or maybe 17, maybe 16. 15, 16, and 17, Cardinals, Ravens, and Chargers all have a legitimate chance to take Lamar Jackson if he's there.
I agree.
I think they got to take him there. Not that I think he's worth that high of a pick, but I got Lamar Jackson at 12.
All right, so the 13th pick, if he's here, I think he will be. Big guy. Washington has got to beef up that defensive line. Vita Vea out of Washington. They've needed a guy like him to plug up some holes and stop the run.
Jonathan Allen's still there. I wouldn't rule that out, but I think that they're going to go Derwin James to put back there with Josh Norman. I think Derwin James is sliding in this draft, and he shouldn't be.
Yeah. I had Derwin going to Washington for the longest time, but
I think that's a perfect marriage, and I've had him there in pretty much every mock draft I've done. I think he's going there.
And then my Green Bay Packers, this is where I do have Derwin James falling. Just best player available. I really hope. He looks like a really good player. I'm not sure he will be here, but best player available. They lost Morgan Burnett in free agency. They got not a hole, but they got an opening now at the starting strong safety. They could look at it and say we got Josh Jones, who they drafted in the 2nd round, behind them to take that spot. But I'll say they draft Derwin James, best player available.
Okay.
Who do you got?
I was torn on this.
Yeah.
I think they want to take a cornerback really, really bad, but one won't be there that's worth the pick.
Yeah.
So I was torn between Marcus Davenport and Calvin Ridley, and I went Calvin Ridley.
You love Calvin Ridley in Green Bay.
I just think I think he can be a solid number 2 receiver. I don't see him ever being like a number 1, but like a player like Calvin Ridley is actually perfect for Green Bay if you think about it, because he's not a freak athlete. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need that. He needs people who run precise routes and know how to get open and are fast enough. He's perfect for Aaron Rodgers. I do think that's a nice combination. I think he's a good complement to a Devontae Adams.
Yep, I agree.
I think it's a good pick. I think that's around where Calvin Ridley should go. Probably 12 and 20
that pick at 14, maybe 12. Yeah, I agree with you. 12 to 19 is where Ridley's going to fall.
Exactly, and might be a little overdrafted, but he can't hurt. He can't hurt your team. I think, considering that he is such a polished receiver, and he might not be like a freak athlete, but those are the players who usually have long careers in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't mind it if they pick Ridley. I wouldn't mind it. Number 15, Arizona. Who do you got? They could go a lot of different ways.
Dude, they need. I know, dude. They can go so many ways. I see them trying to trade up. But I have them. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the whole NFL. I have them taking Mike McGlinchey.
Really, McGlinchey?
I think they're going to throw him at right tackle. Who's Humphreys? Is that their left tackle? They have a pretty good left tackle. He's kind of old though.
No, they traded away Valdir.
Maybe not. So yeah, I think they're going to take McGlinchey. They probably want to take an interior lineman here because there's a lot of really good ones, but I just don't see the value for that pick. So I'm going to have them take a tackle who could potentially have a lot of upside. I think Mike McGlinchey, at the very least, is a very good run blocker, which will help David Johnson. So
I have the same thing, just not the same player. I said Connor Williams, offensive tackle from Texas. He could play, I think, left tackle tomorrow. I think he's a really good pass blocker.
He is a good player. I agree.
And then 16, Baltimore Ravens. I still have Calvin Ridley on the board. I won't be shocked if they scoop him up. But I think they got to beef up the offensive line. They lost somebody. I can't remember his name. Shoot. I think they're starting center in free agency. There are 2 really good centers that could go in the first round of this draft. And with the injury to Billy Price, I think that opens the door for James Daniels to be the top center in this draft. So I have him taking Daniels out of Iowa.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. I would be surprised if Ridley got past them. If
I agree.
But honestly, if you think about it, Baltimore's gotten away from like what's made them good over the past couple years. They stopped drafting defensive linemen, which is how you win. I'd say there's a 0% chance if Calvin Ridley's not there that they don't draft a defensive lineman of some sort. I haven't taken Deron Payne to just throw in the middle next to who did they just Brandon Williams? Is that their other tackle?
Defensive tackle, yeah.
I think I actually think they run a 4-3 and he plays the nose, but it could either be Vea or Payne, but I do think they're going to take one of them. And I have, sorry to just jump ahead here, but the Chargers, I know they need some interior defensive line help, so I got them taking Vita Vea. So
That's
those are 2 of the
ahead.
top defensive tackles going back to back.
Chargers, I already got Vea off the board, so I have them. Since Vea's off the board, I have them taking a linebacker. I think they need to bring in some help in the middle of that defense. I know Denzel Perryman's okay, but that's really all they got. I have them taking Leighton Vander Esch out of Boise State.
The Chargers?
Yep.
Okay.
And then Seattle, pretty obvious they got to go offensive line here. And I have them. This is where I have McGlinchey going.
That's where I have Connor Williams.
Williams.
I think Connor Williams can play, right tackle while Dwayne Brown's still there.
Yeah.
Kind of a perfect person to, groom him for a couple years, and he'll be a nice, swing over to left tackle, and I think he'll protect Russell Wilson for a long time.
That would be huge. That would give Russell Wilson 2 really good bookend tackles, something he hasn't had in a long time or ever. And then Dallas at number 19. I'm curious to see who you got.
This was tough. I could see him going like Will Hernandez. I can see him going interior offensive line because they actually didn't do as well as they normally do there last year. I could see him going linebacker. I could see him going receiver like a Cortland Sutton. But I have him taking Justin Reed might be a little high for him, but I think he's a really, really good player. He's really fast. He can cover in the slot. They just lost Skandrick, so they need a player who can, make the hits and cover some players out there. So I think Justin Reed actually, they might get a little backlash for it because it's a little high for him, but I actually think it's a good pick for them. I really do.
I think that is pretty high. You're going to find some good safeties in the second, third round of this draft. So it might be a little high. I get the pick, though. I do think they need some help at safety. Byron Jones is going to be a free agent next year if they don't pick up his fifth-year option. And he's really the only playmaker they have in that secondary.
They picked it up today.
Oh, did they? I thought I saw they were they were probably going to, but I didn't see if they did. But yeah, he's really the only player they have left in that secondary playmaker, that is. But I still have a wide receiver on the board, Calvin Ridley. With them releasing Dez Bryant, I think they go offense here and take Calvin Ridley.
If he's there, they're 100% taking him.
Yeah, I agree. And then Detroit at number 20. I've said this before. I feel like when Detroit has been at its best, it's because they had a good defensive line, good edge rushers, and I have them taking Harold Landry out of Boston College.
I have them picking a pass rusher as well, but I had Marcus Davenport falling.
Okay, that's the farthest I see Davenport falling.
Yeah, I don't think he gets past the lines if he's there.
I agree. Number 21, Cincinnati.
Honestly, I think that they need to get back to a ground and pound team because Joe Mixon's there. I think, get it back to a lot of, play action passes, take the top off the defense with A.J. Green, some swing passes off the play action to, Joe Mixon and everything. I haven't taken Will Hernandez. I think it's a good pick. I think he's going to be a really good player for a really long time. And I think that's a decent, area for Will Hernandez to go. Not too high, not too low.
That's a little early. But that's when I could see him start getting some hype to get picked around 21. Since they traded, I could see them going offensive line too. That offensive line is terrible. But since they traded for Cordy Glenn, they got a good left tackle now. I think they do need help in the interior. I think that could probably push it to a later round, second, third, fourth round, to get some help in the interior where you're going to find good guys at that position all the time. Maybe that pushes it back, that need a little bit back. I have them taking Rashaan Evans, linebacker from Alabama. Did I lose you? I think I lost you. Damn it. We lost James. Give it a second, everybody. I will hang on. He said last time this happened, I quit recording. He said to not quit record or to keep recording after this kind of thing happens. So I'm going to. I'll go ahead and end this call though. I'll call him back. This ain't good. Yep, I saw that coming. All right. Since he's gone for the time being, I will go ahead and recap the poll questions from last week. Let me find phone booth. Go ahead and get something out of the way while we're waiting on him. So, quick break. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Oh, there he is. You there? Oh, there he is.
My phone overheated.
That'll do it. All right, so we were at pick number 21.
Yep.
I was saying how they could push back. Cincinnati could push interior offensive line to later. So I have them taking Rashaan Evans out of Alabama.
I could see that to go with Perfect.
Yeah, Perfect. And they added Preston Brown out of Buffalo.
Oh, sure. Okay. He was like the leading tackler in the league, wasn't he?
Something like that. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
But what do you got?
For the Bengals,
Yeah.
I had Will Hernandez.
Oh, that's right. You already told me that. So 22, Buffalo, who you got?
They had to go offensive line, and this is probably a reach after his combine, but apparently he's still a really high-graded player on tape. I haven't taken Orlando Brown.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They lost all their offensive linemen.
I know. I just don't see Orlando Brown being picked in the first round. I think he'll be a second at the earliest, maybe a third-round pick.
I agree. I think it was probably a bit of a reach, but I think they just needed to go that way. I didn't see him going guard, like a wing or center there. I didn't see him going.
They could go center. I don't think Billy Price is going in the first round after his shoulder injury.
I don't either. So
I have them going offense, but I'm going to say with their new quarterback investment, get them some help on the perimeter. I have them taking Cortland Sutton out of SMU, wide receiver. A little early for him, but they got to get some help.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so 23. I'm actually, like I said, I feel like they're going to trade up. But if there's no trades, I actually really like my 23rd pick. It's probably a bit of a reach for him, but I think he's an absolute Bill Belichick player. I have him taking Dez Bryant, defensive tackle out of Florida.
I can see it. I don't know about the first round, but they could definitely use some help in the interior of the defensive line. I am going to go with the 5th quarterback, and that is Lamar Jackson. I think New England, there was a report, I think we mentioned it last week, that New England really likes Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. And if he's there, I think they'll scoop him up at 23. They could wait certainly until later, but I look at the rest of that first round. I think New Orleans could take him, Pittsburgh could take him, Jacksonville could take him. I just don't think New England should take a chance. Take Lamar Jackson, number 23, if he's there.
I think they will if he is, but.
So then that leaves number 24, Carolina Panthers. I have them taking corner Josh Jackson out of Iowa. Kind of could be a hybrid corner safety. Carolina needs help at both areas.
I see him taking a corner too. I have him taking the cornerback from Louisville, Jair Alexander.
Yep. Tennessee at 25.
Harold Landry. Kind of had his stock fall a little bit, but I still think he's a pretty good player.
I had them taking. I think we lost. No, there he is. We lost you. You kind of paused there, but you're back.
My bad. I have him taking Harold Landry. I think they need a pass rusher. He kind of his stock kind of fell a little bit, but I still think he's a pretty good player.
I have an edge rusher as well, but not Harold Landry. He's already off the board for me. Sam Hubbard out of Ohio State.
Okay.
Maybe a little. I don't know about early. That's the earliest I see him going is 25.
Yeah.
26 Atlanta. This is where I have Dez Bryant going, defensive lineman out of Florida.
I have him taking Maurice Hurst. Apparently, his heart condition wasn't that big of a deal. Could be a really good player to put with Tack McKinley and Big Beasley. They have the quarterback. They have the offensive prowess. They need to hurt the other team's quarterback a little better. So I think that's a good pick there.
Yeah. Then New Orleans at number 27. I have a feeling who you're going to pick, but I'm curious to see who.
Who do you think?
I'm going to go quarterback.
If I had a quarterback there, I thought
for sure you would have them reaching for like Mason Rudolph or something.
No, not at all. They're not going to reach if nobody's there. Apparently, Sean Payton. I don't know if that was smokescreen or not, but he wasn't impressed with any of the quarterbacks. I have them giving Drew Brees another weapon. They could easily go defense, but I don't think there's that many great defensive players left. So I think they give Drew Brees a nice weapon in Mike Gesicki, the tight end from Penn State.
I have the exact same thing. Mike Gesicki, tight end out of Penn State. This team needs a tight end.
I think that'd be scary.
I would love that fit. Yeah. Number 28, Pittsburgh Steelers. They need help in the interior with the injury to Ryan Shazier. So I got them taking linebacker Malik Jefferson out of Texas.
I have them taking the white Ryan Shazier and Leighton Vander Esch. I really want him to fall to 32, but I'd say that there's a very, very, very small chance he falls past the Steelers.
Yeah. Vander Esch might be there. I think he'll go before then, but I won't be surprised. That's the latest I see him getting picked. Jacksonville at 29.
They need Paul Posluszny just retired, so I have him replacing him with Rashaan Evans, and I think that's a pretty good value pick for them. Should be nasty in there with Miles Jack and Telvin Smith. That's a nasty little.
If he's there, that's huge.
Yeah.
So then that leaves me. I had them going offense since the linebackers are off the board. I had them going offense and taking wide receiver Christian Kirk out of A&M. I'm really not sure. He's going to be a first-round pick. He might be an early second, but I'm going with offense here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then number 30, Minnesota Vikings. I have them going with help in the interior of the offensive line, Isaiah Wynn out of Georgia.
I could easily see them. They probably will actually take one of the interior linemen. I know they could use a corner. I have a hard time feeling Josh Jackson is going to fall out of the first round.
So I do too. That honestly makes a ton of sense. Minnesota just strikes me as the team with a defensive-minded coach that I just get that vibe that Zimmer is going to go defense first round. I don't know why.
He will.
Yeah, he just seems like that kind of guy. He has I don't know about ego. I don't know the guy, but he just has that thing about him. We got to go defense. We got to stop the other team. Like Rex Ryan. Now that they got a quarterback, he might just go defense. And then number 31, New England again.
I had a hard time with this. They need a cornerback to replace Malcolm Butler. I had him taking Mike Hughes out of UCF. I do think he's a pretty good player, probably a little bit of a reach, but cornerback is a premium position right behind, it's probably right behind left tackle, pass rusher, and quarterback. It's, the last of probably the marquee positions where you really need a good guy on your team to be effective. So people will reach a little bit more for corners. I could see him going Mike Hughes there.
I like your decision to have 5 or 4 corners in the first round. I think that'll end up happening. I only have 3 right now, though, and this is the third one. I got New England taking Jair Alexander.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then lastly, your Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know what they're going to do. They have a lot of options. I think, if anything, they're going to trade out. But I have them taking running back Darius Geis.
They're not going to trade out, and I'm going to tell you why. Because there's not going to be a quarterback there. That's the only thing that's going to make that pick.
I see what you mean.
Trading. They're not going to take a second and a fourth for that pick. They're going to want like a second and a second. So I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody just wants to trade back in and get maybe a linebacker or something falls, it's just not going to be worth it to them. So they'll stay at 32. Now, if Lamar Jackson, which is, like I said, 0% chance he falls to there because he'd have to get past the Patriots and the Saints and the Chargers. One of those teams are going to take a chance on him.
Yeah.
But I could see the Eagles going defensive line here very, very easily. I know they want a linebacker, but there's not going to be one worth taking.
I really don't think they're going to get it one. I try to give them a linebacker. I just don't think they're going to get one.
No, it's not going to be there for them, and they're not going to reach for Malik Jefferson. I'm going to tell you that right now. So apparently there's a lot of reports. I don't even think he's going to be there personally, but I have the same as you. I have him taking Darius Geis.
And like you said, I'm not 100% sure he's going to be there. I think he's getting a lot of hype to get back into more of that middle first round.
I think they're going to wear Ajayi out this year a lot, and then they're going to cut him next year. They're not going to give him his second contract because he has a knee issue. Yeah. So they're going to ride that horse. So wouldn't surprise me if they took a running back here. I'm subscribing to the theory, dude, give Carson Wentz every weapon you can. I do not care if
even if a wide receiver's there. If Cortland Sutton is there, I'd go Cortland Sutton.
Well, I think he's too similar to a Alshon Jeffrey.
Another option is a tight end. They could go tight end there.
I definitely see them going tight end as well, but the problem is we just lost our blocking tight end.
Yeah.
So what I think they're going to do, instead of having 2 receiving tight ends who can't block, I think they'll just hold off on tight end and just grab a 4th or 5th round tight end who's just a really good blocker.
I agree. That's what I would do.
There's just not a lot there. I mean, the Eagles could go in a million different directions. If a really good player like Maurice Hurst or
Harold Landry or even like a Marcus Davenport or somebody falls there, they're going to take the good defensive lineman if he's there. I just don't see him there. They're going to go O-line or D-line. I could see him even taking like one of the good guards or something. Yeah. I really could.
I've even had them taking a tackle.
If McGlinchey's there, book it.
Oh yeah, but he won't be.
He's from Philly.
But so moving on, that's our. It won't be my final mock draft. I'll have one on my blog posted later this week. But James, that might be your last mock draft.
No, pick another one.
Before we do our live show?
Yeah.
I'll let you do it. If we're going to start our live show like about an hour before the draft kicks off, and we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, prospects, quarterbacks, everything, you name it. So if you want to do a mock draft, yeah, go ahead.
All right, sweet.
So let's recap last week's poll questions real quick, and then we'll pretty much be done.
All right.
Number one, which team do you think is the biggest threat to knock off LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East? 77% said your Sixers.
Let's go, baby.
And then 23% Toronto Raptors, 0% Boston Celtics. That's not surprising. Which player should win NBA Rookie of the Year? 100% say Ben Simmons. I think that's pretty obvious. After the drama surrounding Odell Beckham Jr., are you surprised he showed up for the first day of offseason conditioning? 57% said yes. So kind of thought the same way we did.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sad to see the NFL in the Color Rush uniforms for Thursday night? 75% said yes. So obviously a lot of millennials think like us.
Yeah.
Which MLB team that's off to a slow start to the regular season is the most surprising? 72% say the Yankees. I think we both said the Yankees last week.
Yeah, you had to.
Yep. 14% said the Cubs and Nationals. 0% said the Dodgers. I guess people knew the Dodgers were banged up. That's all I have. James, I don't know about you. I really don't have a ton of final thoughts. Just that Thursday.
Ready for the draft, dude.
Yep, Thursday. Tune in.
You're going to be here Thursday?
I'll be there Thursday. I'll get there on Tuesday.
Oh, you're getting here Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. I'll try. I'm probably going to leave late. I want to catch y'all like when you get off work. What time do you get home?
Like 6-ish, and then I go to the gym, and then I'm done.
Oh, I could show up early and you just leave me a key.
We have like a code to the door.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then yeah, you can do that. But actually on Wednesday I'm taking a day trip to Washington D.C., so that'll be fun.
Oh, cool. All right,
yeah,
dude.
All I have, listeners, Thursday live show. We're gonna be on Instagram. If I can figure it out, YouTube. I think I have it down though. It's not that difficult, but it was more than I thought. Definitely Instagram, YouTube, probably Facebook, but it won't be through me. It'll be through James. That's really about it. I don't think Twitter does live. So we'll be there. We will be calling friends when their team is on the clock. I know we got a few Giants friends. We'll probably give them a call, see who they think is going to get picked. My Saints friend has been bugging me about getting back on the show, and I said, we'll call you on the draft, see who they pick. We're going to be having beers, food. I think, are we doing a combined kind of live show?
Yeah, I don't even know if it'll be like technically combined, but we'll be over my buddy Sam's house.
We'll both be there, and they're doing a live show too on their podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're probably have them on for a little bit. We'll go on their show for a little bit, take a break from ours. It'll be something like that for sure. That's all I got. So, James, you got anything left?
No, I'm done, dude. I'm ready for the draft.
Yep, same here. Less than, 4 days?
Yep.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yep. Have a good week, everybody. We will be back on Thursday night.
All right, later, dude.
Later.